Hello, this is a lecture on parks and reserves. Why have we created parks and reserves? Many people believe that enormous, beautiful, or unusual features should be protected. Protected areas offer recreational value to tourists, hikers, fishermen, hunters, and others. Protected areas offer utilitarian benefits such as clean drinking water and buffers against floods. And parks have been created as a way to make use of sites lacking economically valuable material resources. A park or reserve is widely viewed as a kind of Noah's Ark, an island or habitat that can maintain species that might otherwise disappear. Federal parks and reserves began in the U.S. The striking scenery of the American West impelled the U.S. government to create the world's first national parks. Publicly held lands protected from extraction and development, but open to the public for nature appreciation and recreation. Yellowstone National Park was established in 1872 as the world's first national park. The National Park Service, or NPS, was created in 1916 to administer the growing system of parks and monuments, which today numbers 388 sites totaling 32 million hectares or 79 million acres. There were 276 million visitors in the year 2007. The National Wildlife Refuge is another type of protected area and is managed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. 541 sites, 91 million acres. This is more of a wildlife haven, but it does allow hunting, fishing, wildlife observation, photography, and education. Wilderness areas have been established on various federal lands. These are areas of existing federal lands that may be designated as wilderness areas, meaning that they are off limits to private development but are open to hiking, nature study, and other activities with minimal impact on the land. Now, not everybody supports land set-asides, and there are, of course, a political discussion and others, especially, I guess, over motorized use of certain parks. Parks and reserves are increasing internationally. Many nations have established national parks, and one of the benefits here is the idea of ecotourism. Protected areas now cover almost 10% of the world's land area. However, parks do not always receive the necessary funding, and sometimes are referred to as paper parks. So-called paper parks are protected on paper, but not in reality. There are also World Heritage Sites, which are protected areas designated or managed by the United Nations. They are usually have both cultural and natural value. Biosphere reserves are tracts of land with exceptional biodiversity that couple preservation with sustainable development to benefit the local people. So you have some sort of economic benefit to the people who live there. Non-federal entities also protect land, and some land conservation is also accomplished by private non-profit groups such as land trusts. And examples of land trusts that are important, that you've heard of probably, I guess, is what I mean to say, is the Nature Conservancy, which is the world's largest land trust. So even though we have a lot of land in parks and reserves, and we're seeing an increase in these reserves internationally, we know that we have problems with habitat fragmentation and how that threatens biodiversity and species. So when habitat fragmentation, what you have is contiguous habitat, habitat that is attached is then chopped into small pieces. And you can see that example down below for Cadiz Township, Wisconsin, on the years 1831, 1882, 1902, and 1950. Because of habitat fragmentation is such an important issue for biodiversity conservation biologists debate the SLOS dilemma, which is single large or several small reserves. And this, of course, depends on the species and what they need. Tigers have different needs than insects. Another related issue is whether corridors of protected land are important for allowing animals to travel between islands of protected habitat, right? So you have gene flow between populations where animals can migrate. All right, thanks for listening to this lecture on parks and reserves with a little bit of conservation biology at the end. If you have questions, let me know, and see you in class.